Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video we'll have episode 6 of the Moto3 Career mode. Just before we get into it, I have made a bit of a boo-boo. In the last video I teased a contract offer that I received from Petronas Moto3 team, and I got a contract offer from Gresini Moto3 team. Now I didn't read the contract. First rule is always read the contract. I didn't read the contract. And in the start of this episode, where I recorded this, I signed for it, and I noticed on the right side of the screen it didn't change, and I was going, what's going wrong here? Then I went back, read the contract, and the contract is for next year. So basically I've signed for another year in Moto3. Now I have gone on to a friend of mine. He is a seasoned veteran when it comes to career modes, and he says once you sign for a different team you can get out of that contract by playing I'll show you on screen now. I think it's a break clause I think you pay. So if you see, I go to Moto3, one second, now I have my contract. You'll see termination clause of 80,000 euros or credits as the game would say. So I'll have to save up 80 grand to break this contract that I signed accidentally. I wanted to move mid-season to this team, to the Team Gresini Moto3 team, because they have the Honda, and I'm struggling a lot with the KTM. But the issue is, as you'll see, it doesn't say it on screen now, but it is for next season, so there's nothing I can do. So what I've done in the meantime is I have applied for Petronas in Moto2. Now hopefully I'm pretty close to their reputation. I have 8 weeks left. Now I probably, once I unlock a few more of these, I might apply for a slightly better Moto2 team. But if I get a contract on the table for these, I'll accept it just so I can break the previous contract from Gresini. So with all that behind me, I'm going to move backwards. Now as you can see, this race is already done. I'm going to hide the results and we're going to jump on track from the previous race at Le Mans, and you see me now in. So just over 4 minutes left in the session here. I'm starting my one and only lap in qualifying. I've struggled a lot this weekend in Le Mans with track limits. Le Mans is a lot of up and down as we get turn 2 actually perfect. It looked like we're just going wide. As I was saying, Le Mans has lots of elevation changes, just like here, where the apex is blind till you get there, and I'm wide through there. I'm actually nearly 2 tenths under in sector 1, which is a surprise for me. But as I was saying again, you'll see coming up in here, you cannot see the apex, can't see the apex. Now I'm on corner entry, now I can see the apex. A lot of corners on this track are like this, so it's quite hard to see most of your apexes. So it's very easy to turn in half a second too early, half a second too late. Sector 2, and we've kept the advantage. We've actually gained another touch. I think we've just gained a tiny bit more. Now as we come through Garage Vert, we're coming up to the fast chicane on the back straight. A 1:44.7 for Jaume Messia at the moment is the provincial pole position. That's one I have big issues trying to get through, and we're actually up by nearly 3 1/4 tenths. Now this last sector here I struggle with a lot. Again, it's just a very tricky track on a Moto3 bike, especially on board. I quite like the track, just not really in Moto3, and the AI tend to take different lines to me, so I could think that could be a problem in the race. As we come out of the last corner, can we get pole position up to the line? And we're on pole at the moment, 2.5 minutes left. And we held on to it. We're on pole for a wet track, so this is going to be a tricky race. So 8 laps of torture, I'm going to say, in this, because I don't think we're going to be that quick in the rain, because it's hard enough in the dry, this track, never mind the wet. As we approach turn 1, 125 miles an hour turning, and it's just so understeered through there at the moment. Are we going to get dive bomb? This feels like someone's right next to me. There's already been a crash as we hold Jaume Messia and Pedro Costa at bay through sector 1. Oh, and already my first track limits warning. That's not a good start. I reckon as Messia gets passed into Oh, getting into is that Museum? Yeah, it's Museum, and Acosta is right behind me now as well. But I reckon I might end up getting at least one long lap penalty here, because I do struggle in practice and qualifying. Oh, I'm not getting that stopped. And Messia's down. Messia's down. He's taking down his teammate, and he's taking down John McPhee. We are currently in the lead. We got our second track limits, avoiding Jumbo Messia, but basically every top 6 rider all went down. There seems to be a big gap between me and behind Jeremy Alcover. There's a bit of a gap on the time screen to Dennis Anchu, but it really looks like that Messia crash really took down so many. I saw so many of the top riders go down. Now, even though I got pole position in the dry, I don't really fancy my chance in the rain. I'm not the most confident in the rain on the Moto3 bikes. As you see, Dennis Foggia already really taking a few tenths out of me in that last sector. 154.2 as we end the first lap. Jeremy Alcoba right up behind me coming into turn 1. I feel decent through the fast turn 2. Ooh, there's even a little bit of a head shake. So if the flag was put out now, we'd gain a lot of points back on the championship leaders. We were doing really well to gain back points. Now we need to make sun while it shines, and we need to make up points while the front running guys have hit the deck, so we really cannot afford any mistakes in this race. I'm just matching the pace of Dennis Foggia, so hopefully I can stay with him, and hopefully he can pull me away from Jeremy Alcoba and the chasing pack behind. So come back down into the bus stop of Garage Fair, and Foggia's done the exact same thing. Foggia and he's taken down Alcoba. I can't believe it. Again in Garage Fair, Dave, it's exactly the same as what happened with Messia. Just got in, just trail braking, got slightly wide, slightly on the wet stuff, tucked the front, and is taking down the guy behind me. I was lucky not to get collected with him as well. But now we have a second. We actually are leading a race. Now it's not a merit, because we've been handed 7 positions, I think. I know we qualified on pole, but as you can see, Darren Binder's already taken 0.6 of us in a sector there. He's taken not even a sector 2 gone, he's taken 0.6 of a second. So it's going to be quite hard to keep him at bay. Now I think I'm in my own race here. I don't need to fight Darren Binder. Dennis Anchu's in third. Now there's a bit of a gap, 49.9 the quickest lap, of 49.3 for Darren Binder, so we're quite a bit off. I just need to be consistent as I get that a little wide. Quite strong though into the braking there into turn 3. It's starting to dry. Again, it's a wet track, so it does dry as the race will go on. It'll dry more and more. So once I don't overheat my tyres, I should be alright. I can hear Dan Binder right up behind me. He is right on my tail. So come into Museum. Oh, and there's a rider down behind. Oh, Darren Binder's down. I can't believe it. All the top guys are crashing. He got in too hot and he tugged the front. I could hear it in my onboard of the 250 NSR Honda behind me. Just basically got in hot, tucked the front, and the revs, I could hear the revs skyrocketed. Everyone is crashing in that garage fair. I don't understand it. Messia's crashed for the second time there. I cannot believe it. I'm leading a race by 1.7 seconds at a track that I don't favour too much. So Dennis Foggia in third, Dennis Anchu in second, and me in first. I can't believe it. Now there's a long way left to go in this race yet, so I really need to I need to stay calm, not get ahead of myself, as I am. But I just need to relax now, just keep knocking off the laps, because I don't have a huge gap to Anchu, and his pace seems decent if he's in P2. You just need to keep going round and round, not make mistakes. So we dip into a low 50s, so if we keep that pace, a low 50s going, we should be able to just kind of stay towards the front. But I cannot believe how many riders are crashing in this Le Mans French Grand Prix. It is a bit like the 2017 French GP, where, or was it 2018 or 2019, when they all crashed into this corner here. Crazy race that was, and this race is turning out a bit like it, just crashes everywhere. I'm just expecting more crashes after that now. I'm coming up to, I've been to museum now in a second, and then we're going down into Garage Ver, and I have a little bobble on entry. I just want to see, is there anyone else crash? So we've only 0.8 over Dennis Unchu, so again, just trying to keep an eye on the gap. I'm not pushing to my maximum, just because I don't want to make a mistake. I'm in the lead, even if I get caught and passed by Dennis Unchu. And there's another crash. Fodge is down, and Max Koffler's crashed, and Preza Costa's crashed. There's just riders falling everywhere. I cannot believe this. And John McPhee's back to third after him crashing in the first lap, which isn't great for my championship. Ideally, I wanted him to finish with lower, as he is the championship leader at the moment. But I just hope Dennis Unchu can stay on the bike, because everyone else around him is crashing. If he can stay on the bike, hold up John McPhee, it'll be more points for me if I can keep the win. As of right now, we're just coming on to start lap 5. I've just over a second gap to another track warning. Now it's 3. I know that's something else I need to manage as well. I need to make sure I don't get a long lap penalty. If I get a long lap penalty, I could be thrown back into the mid pack and could end up getting involved in one of those crashes, which is something I do not want to have happen. As I run a little deep into turn 3. No, I'm just going to keep going. Another low 1 minute 50 on that lap for me. We seem to maybe have slightly better the pace than Unchu behind us. Now I'd say McPhee is probably pulling him in on a serious rate of knots, because McPhee on one of the best bikes on the grid, I can imagine in these conditions he will be mega quick. Now the gap is growing to Unchu, getting into I think the track is quite dry now. Now the wet tyres still don't feel great. Through as we spin it up on the exit, and there's another crash. Jeremy Alcoba's on, Fodges is down again in that corner. Can't see why they're having so many issues, as we lead now by over 2 seconds. We're doing a great job so far, just trying to keep it steady, try not make too many mistakes, try not to override. As we have a huge bobble in the middle of turn 11. The front end, just a vibration through the front end there was crazy. That was so close. That could have been the end of the race, as we have another little moment there. Not as big, but we are after losing a small bit of time. We seem to be on a good lap though. 49.4, my fastest lap of the race. So it looks like the track is drying up and there is pace in the track, so I just need to, hopefully if I can match the guys behind me, because sometimes in these career races, when there's a drying track like this, it can be difficult to match the AI's pace. They can find grip where there's not really any grip. Now Darren Binder with the fastest lap of 1:49.1, so I'm about 3/10 off of that. So again, if I can hopefully stay in the low 1 minute 49s until maybe the last lap, and maybe dip into the 48s if the track keeps improving as it is. But we're doing well. We haven't made too many mistakes, bar that little front end bobble on the last lap. We got up the curb there, as I was just talking about not making mistakes. I feel quite strong in heavy braking zone, which is one thing I haven't felt strong on with this KTM. And it turns out we will be staying with, as there's more crashes. Macias crashed, I think that's his 3rd crash of the race. As I was saying, it looks like we will be staying with this KTM until the end of the season, which is quite unfortunate, because I did want to ride for Honda. I just would rather Honda in Moto3. But nonetheless, we will try and get another world title for the Austrian manufacturer, as we are coming through the last sector and about to start the penultimate lap of a race we've led since lap 2. So come up to line, looks like another low in a 49. 49.0. We set the fastest lap of the race. So even not at 100% push, we're still quick. As Darren Binder's after robbing it off me, went about 3/4 of a tenth quicker with the looks of it. So he's in P5, fastest man on track. Now I don't know the gap between Sergio Garcia and John McPhee between 3rd and 4th. It would be interesting to see. Judging by the mini map, and if I just get out of La Chapelle, it looks like Dennis Anchu and McPhee are close together, and then it looks like there is a good gap, about the same as what it is to me to Dennis Anchu. So it looks like maybe they could be about 5 seconds behind. So once his pace doesn't rapidly improve, I think we should be able to hold off Garcia backwards. My only fear is if John McPhee can get Dennis Anchu, that he might be able to catch us, but we've half a lap left and then we're on to the final lap. So if I just put in a good, Sergio Garcia is after crashing now, that promotes Darren Binder into P4. Green flags as the incident has been cleared. We're over 3 seconds, so I think we do have much better pace than Dennis Anchu. Now whether he's holding up McPhee up or not, I don't know. But as we touch the inside curb, you do not want to be touching the curbs in the wet. It is just not going to end well. As we come up to cross the line, looks like we're going to dip into the 48s this time, judging by my exit. 48.9, so another fastest lap for me. As we start the final lap, can we make this count? Can we win the first race of the season in a wet, damp, cold Le Mans after qualifying on pole and surviving? That's what it wasn't this race. If I win this race, it wasn't one on raw pace, it was one on survival. I didn't get collected in the first lap, I didn't get collected in the second lap, and I've led since. I've stayed out of trouble. Darren Binder again pips us off the fastest lap. Just counting down the corners now. This has been the longest race I've had in a long time. The race in Jerez, when we battled for the podium all race long, flew by in a flash. But now since we're leading since lap 2, this race has gone on for an eternity. So we're at half lap distance now. Can we just get through our tidy? Going out to first gear, just taking a handy, not pushing too much. As there's another crash, and it's Dennis Anchu. No, the one guy I didn't want to crash, and Jeremy Alcoba goes down. So it's going to be a Petronas 2-3, which isn't good for my championship or my team championship because they lead. So it's a great result for them. As we come into the final sector of this Le Mans French Grand Prix, and it looks like we're going to do it. It looks like we're going to win our first race. So it looks like since we've started the European leg of the season, the best part of the season, as said in episode 5, that it looks like the European season is where our season kicks off as we come up to the line and we win the Le Mans Grand Prix. So an absolute fabulous race. We come across the line in first, get demolished for the fastest lap, but that doesn't matter. We win the race on merit. It wasn't given to us, we won it ourselves. We had to keep ahead of everyone. We kept out of trouble. We jump up 4 places in the Riders' Championship up to P4. Now we're still 31 points behind, but it's nonetheless. Now the Teams Championship, that looks like it's going to be a bit of a gap. 103 points behind. Here I am with my mechanics celebrating on the podium. Delighted with the result. Absolutely brilliant. Let's roll on Magello. So I'm going to leave that episode there. I just want to thank you all for watching. Great race, first victory, and I look forward to having some more success, hopefully in Mugello next episode. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.